Govinda ji, Dr.nirmala, the founding chairperson of the International Federation of Sanatana Dharma, with Govinda ji as General Secretary, and very, very distinguished members of the audience. I am delighted that such an august audience is here to participate in this satsang. So they already communicated, the topic is global opportunities and challenges for the followers of Sanatana Dharma. Very briefly, I would like to point out what Sanatana Dharma is all about, what are its basics. All of us know, in fact, all of us practice this. Yet, for the sake of recall, I just want to point it out, put it forward. Sanatana Dharma believes in the cyclical nature of time. That is why it is called Sanatan. Here is the element of timelessness, as opposed to the Abrahamic faiths, where the concept of time is historical. A moment lost is lost. Whereas in Sanatan, a moment lost, maybe right now, is to be gained a little later. We believe in rebirth. We believe in karmic theory, karma phal, siddhant. And we also believe that truth is one and all roads lead to the same truth. That are the basic points which define the dharma called Sanatan. In that sense, Sanatan is the only dharma, because here dharma means the universal laws of nature, and universal laws of nature cannot be divided into this or that category. So Sanatana Dharma is all about universality. With that in view, I would like to discuss first the opportunities that are before us. The belief-based systems are exclusive. They do not accept others. They are unscientific because they do not promote inquiry. They do not promote questioning. They are anti-human, anti-life. Anti-human in the sense because they do not believe in the equality, universal equality of man, and they also do not believe in the interdependence of man and nature. Rather, they give topmost priority to those who believe in their philosophy or in their system of belief, mostly Abrahamic faiths, in which I also include communism, and about which I will discuss later. How Abrahamic faiths, for example, Christianity and Islam, theoretically, philosophically, or fundamentally are almost on the same page with communism. That is there. Because of all this, since those who are anti-Sanatana, those people who follow religions, who are unable to face inquiries, who are anti-human, anti-science, anti-inquiry, anti-law of nature, you have got a large number of people who are now becoming ex-Muslims or ex-Christians. They are not being converted mostly by the follower of Sanatana Dharma. Rather, on their own experience or through studies, they are deserting their mother faiths, be it Christianity, be it Islam, or be it communism. I want to repeat, I consider communism as an extension of Islam, or to put differently, communism is godless Islam. If you wish, you can ask questions. I'll respond to that. Here, the next question which comes to us in form of opportunities, that is after the question of inquiry that the Sanatana Dharma followers are very ably able to address. You have the question of man versus nature. In those who follow different religions, including communism, they consider that those who follow them, those who believe in the ideology or faith, they are born to rule the rest of humans, as well as they are here to exploit the nature to their advantage with complete disregard to other members of the nature, other communities of the nature, other life forms of the nature. That is, they do not believe in the cosmic laws. They do not believe in interdependence. In that sense, they are anti-science, and they are also anti-future. To that extent, Sanatana Dharma followers have a great opportunity to address the questions facing humanity today, address the questions that are existential in nature, that are posing threat not only to the planet Earth, but also the other planets or members of the solar system or the universe, if you look at it from a very, very holistic perspective. Here we have an opportunity to address those questions and bring in our fold those who have become ex-Muslims, ex-Christians, or ex-communists. The third and the most important point that provides an opportunity, which is a global challenge, and for the Sanatana Dharma followers is a great opportunity, is global terrorism. Global terrorism is fueled, inspired by the followers of different religions, be it Christianity, be it Islam, or communism. They constitute the core of global terrorism, of which about 80% or more than 80% is shared by the followers of Islam, and remaining 20% is by Christianity and communism. This global terrorism is posing a great threat to democracy, and in order to meet this challenge posed by global terrorism, mostly by global jihad, you see that dictatorships are returning, or rather coming through the front door of democracy. People are realizing, in democratic countries particularly, that only the dictatorships can deal with this problem of global terrorism or global jihad. In that sense, Sanatana Dharma is able to address this issue of the equality of man and the interdependence between man and nature, the connections which are eternal. And the eternal questions can be very well addressed by the followers of Sanatana Dharma, who believe that the time is cyclical, who believe what you do today will come to you in this life and other lives. Hence, do good, be good to others. And it also believes in the universal laws of nature. Based on this, in a very, very scientific manner, the followers of Sanatana Dharma can address the questions and the causes of global terrorism and help restore democracy in the true sense of the term. Why I said true sense of the term and global democracy? Because the vote bank politics across the world is actually sabotaging the true spirit of democracy globally. As you see, not only in India, but many countries of Europe, for example, Belgium, Netherlands, to an extent, England, the global terrorism by way of jihad is posing a threat not only to democracy but also to scientific thinking, because they are anti-scientific in many ways. The vehicle that we can adopt, or rather adopting, and the same vehicle through which we are connecting with each other, that is new communication technologies that are product of convergence of technologies, because of which we are interacting with each other in real time, and which is able to provide customized communication solutions to the question posed, both at interpersonal level, at group level, and at the same time at the mass level. We are able to connect with each other. We are able to set up organizations to deal with the challenges posed to us by our enemies, who are anti-human to start with. That is a facilitation provided to us by technology, and that is the greatest help available today with us. That is new communication technologies. You call it various apps, you call it mobile, you call it internet, and so many other platforms. You have, as a tool with you, as followers of Sanatana Dharma, that you believe, rather you give primacy to duties rather than rights. That is a great quality. The communities, individuals who believe in performing their duties, they are able to create a better world. They are able to live in coexistence peacefully with others. Whereas those who are our enemies, be it followers of Islam or Christianity or communism, they are rights oriented, and these rights are not by way of including the sentiments or demands or the requirements of others who are affected by these rights, but rather these rights come through might. Whereas we are approaching every problem through our duties. Duties as an individual, as a father, as a mother, as a teacher, as a politician, as a thinker, as a citizen, as a global citizen, as a Nepalese citizen, as an Indian citizen, and wherever you are. And it is not for nothing that the followers of Sanatana Dharma are not causing any threat to the governments wherever they are, either as the original inhabitants or as migrants. As opposed to this, the followers of religions or followers of another modern religion called communism are posing threats to the state, existential threat to the state wherever they are, in various ways, either in a direct way, covert ways, or direct way, they are posing threat. And that can very well be verified if you look at the percentage of people who are following a religion or any exclusive philosophy, such as communism, and their share in the national crime or crime at the national level. You will find that the followers of Sanatana Dharma have much less share in the crime as opposed to the share claimed by the enemies of Sanatana Dharma in vis-a-vis their population. That is a very general marker or identifier. As a step further, as students of communication, or some of us are definitely students of communication, here we can identify with one concept that has recently been developed, modified by our chairperson, that is the chairperson of the International Federation of Sanatana Dharma, as well as the founder of the Sahidartha International, Dr.nirmala, who has worked on, or rather developed, this Sadharanikaran model of communication. He has also worked on Sanchara Yoga. Why I am mentioning this? Because as followers of Sanatana Dharma, we have been trained into Sadharanikaran. Whether we know it as a concept or not, we are Sahridayas. We believe that we are not going to cheat our listeners. We are the people of the same orientation, same inclination, and we are in communion with each other. And we are here to make complex things simpler so that those who are not able to understand a problem or an issue or a challenge can come up to a certain level with the efforts of the communicator. So those who are our enemies, those who follow different religions, and those who are communists, for example, they believe in, or they practice, not only believe, manipulative communication. They believe in rhetoric, so that they manipulate you to do something which is not truthful, that is mostly based on lies, but it is to their advantage. We as followers of Sanatana Dharma can put it across that, look, we are not into manipulation. And by doing this, we are able to attract the attention of the cream of the world, the top brains, the top minds of the world. And we can add to this the concept of Purusarth, that is Purusarth Chatushtaya, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. If we add to this, to our normal discussion, whenever we are in, we are interacting with others, that others include also the followers of Sanatana Dharma, and of course those who are not the followers of Sanatana Dharma, that how these 4 stages of life are inclusive, and how they are at every stage, every following stage of life is uplifting you mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. And the last stage, that is the moksha, it makes you one with the absolute, and that makes you part of the universe that is not in conflict with those who do not follow you, or those who do not believe in what you do. That is the beauty of what we think, what we practice. But what we think and what we practice is not only our strength, but this is also our weakness. And here it starts. How do we deal with the challenges posed by our enemies? And what are they? We, the followers of Sanatana Dharma, I am a bit racy in my points. So, dear members of the august audience, please note down the questions that you have, that we will try to understand during the question answer session. Number 1 challenge that is before us, or rather it is our weakness. And that weakness emerges from our strength. When we say, Eko sadvipra bahuda vadanti, truth is one, but is interpreted, understood differently by the wise or by different people, is also our weakness. When we are fighting our enemies, who are very, very exclusive in nature, and who are hell-bent upon destroying us, killing us, and they have done so. They have destroyed the inhabitants of pre-Christian Europe. They have destroyed the inhabitants, almost destroyed the pre-Christian the residents or inhabitants of Americas. They have destroyed those who populated or inhabited most of us that is known as Saudi Arabia or Islamic countries. They have also destroyed a very, very significant portion of the region called Bharatvarsh or ancient India culturally. So our weakness or challenge is that we consider others who are our outright enemies, who want to destroy us for the simple reason that we are not like them. Unfortunately, we consider them as if they also look at us as if in the similar fashion as we do them. What we need to do, we need to look at ourselves through the eyes of the enemies. Repeat, we look at ourselves, strategy number one. Sanatana Dharma followers need to look at themselves not only through their own eyes. They look at themselves also through the eyes of the enemies. And the enemies who have been here for 2,000 years, and they have killed, if you consider, if you take into account the genocides taking place across the continents, that will cross 500 million during the last 2,000 years, out of which more than 100 million people have been genocided, killed, and mountains of their skulls have been made. One example is Hindu Kush. That means a mountain that was raised near the lower parts of the Himalayas, and that mountain was that place where thousands and thousands of Hindus were killed, or the followers of Sanatana Dharma were killed. And because of that, that mountain range was named Hindu Kush. Kush means, here Kush means slaughter. Hindu Kush, Hindu slaughter. That is the name of a mountain range. Getting back, we need to look at ourselves through the eyes of the enemies who have killed us either through policies or physically, directly. The English colonizers or British colonizers killed us through their policies mostly, whereas the Islamic colonizers killed us directly through sword or with the help of the sword mostly. That we need to understand. Mostly we are ignorant about them. We are ignorant about their thinking. What do we need to do that? We need to study their basic texts. For example, the Quran, the Bible, the Communist Manifesto, the life of Prophet Muhammad, the life of Jesus Christ, etc. That is a must for us who claim that we are the followers of Sanatana Dharma, and we have to do something to restore our prestige, to restore our power in the truest sense or positive sense of the term. The second thing that we have to take on is the secular education. The secular education, simply put, is anti-Sanatana Dharma. If you are secular, you are anti by your training. And whether you are Christian or not, you are Christian through practice, even if you call yourself a Sanatana Dharmi. Indian examples that can be put forward, and that is the product of secular education, is that the religious places, for example, church, waqf boards, mosques, etc., are not under government control. But more than 4 lakh temples with income of more than 1 lakh crores per annum are under the government control. This is an inequality promoted by the Constitution of India, the Constitution that vows, that the Constitution that takes oath that it will promote equality amongst its citizens. And the same Constitution, through different acts, is promoting inequality because the secular education had made us pass through an amnesia. We are unable to recognize that how unequal treatment is being meted out to us. The same applies to personal laws. There are different personal laws. There has to be uniform civil laws, and these uniform civil laws have to have the basic element of Sanatana Dharma. Wherever there is so-called secularism in Europe or America, their laws, their personal laws, and their constitution is largely rooted in Bible. Yes, that could be different denominations of Christianity. It could be Catholic, it could be Protestant, or it could be maybe Eastern Orthodox Church or something else. But they are rooted in Bible. There is no doubt about it. Their secularism, the place where secularism took its birth, that is rooted in Bible. There is no doubt about it. So how do we go about it? As I pointed out, or it was pointed out earlier, we have to spread awareness. And first we have to make ourselves aware about what our enemies, those who are opposed to the Sanatana Dharma, those who are opposed to the universal laws of nature, are anti-human, anti-scientific, and that you can do only if you study properly the Quran, the Bible, the Communist Manifesto, and many other related books. For example, the life of Prophet Muhammad, or life of Jesus Christ, and other Abrahamic icons. We need to study that. There is no shortcut to it. Second, we need to bring forward the integral connection, organic connection between Abrahamic faiths on the one hand and communism on the other. Both are exclusive, both are anti-nature, both believe in religion of this or that sort, both are anti-human, and both have led to genocides of this or that nature. In a short span of less than 100 years, followers of communism have killed more than 100 million people in the name of bringing in equality. We need to have Sanatana Dharma educational institutions globally. International Federation of Sanatana Dharma can play a very, very important role in that by teaming up, by partnering with similar thinking institutions globally. We need to have proper educational institutions that impart the Sanatana ethos, that impart Sanatana values along with different branches of knowledge. Rather, it could be made compulsory. We need to, as citizens, as voters, and this is very, very important, as citizens and as voters, we need to punish those political groups, politicians and political parties who are not following the basic ethos of Sanatana Dharma. And that we can do by defeating them unless you get into the mode of vote bank, until as your opponents are, as your enemies are. They constitute less than 30%, mostly less than 30%, if you take the case of India, or hardly about 20% or 22%. But they are able to get things done through the constitution that are anti-human, unscientific, anti-Sanatan, anti-Hindu, that we need to reverse. We need to learn lessons from our enemies, how to use our vote bank. We need to act as vote bank as far as implementing our agenda is concerned. We are not here to implement secularism, which is anti-human, anti-civilization, anti-culture, that we need to bring forward educationally, academically, on the one hand, and on the other, we need to instill this element of strategy in political Hindus, in citizens, that you have to defeat those, whether they are Hindus or not Hindus, if they are not able to implement policies, laws, programs which are pro-Sanatan. And pro-Sanatan means not anti-Muslim, not anti-Hindu, not anti-communist, or not anti-Christian. The moment you are pro-Sanatan, you are universal. You are not discriminating people based on their belief, based on their faith. You are simply following universal laws of nature, where you are providing equal opportunities to one and all, in such a manner that you are also giving primacy to other life forms, without whom you cannot live longer, you cannot live a healthy life. One more point which I wanted to put across is, wherever possible, in different branches of knowledge, be it history, be it political science, be it culture, be it philosophy, be it communication, we need to put across a comparative understanding of dharma on the one hand and religions on the other in a very scientific manner. We don't have to be apologetic about it. We simply need to be straightforward. We need to set that hangover that those who are white-skinned are greater in thinking, they are more intelligent, and they are more acceptable. No. We need to challenge, demolish Eurocentric thinking that is dominating almost every branch of knowledge, especially social sciences and humanities. With that, I end my talk and invite you to pose questions through which we'll be able to learn more from each other. Thank you very, very much.
यस भिडियोलाई लाइक कमेन्ट र शेयर गर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। फेरि यस्तै रोचक भिडियोहरू हेर्नका लागि यस च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गरेर घन्टी बजाइदिनुहोला।